On this episode of The Vanna Show, we'll be talking to Mr. Ross, Superintendent of Battleground School District, about the bond. So welcome, Mr. Ross. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So what exactly is the bond?
Well, a bond is what we ask when we need to build buildings or renovate buildings or add new technology. We go out and we ask our citizens to support a bond. A bond it supports the buildings. Sometimes there's confusion of what the difference between a bond and a levy is. Levy is for instruction and curriculum and things that you need for academics. We always say levies are for learning and bonds are for building.
Nice. So if you want students to take away something from this, what would that be?
Well, there's been a lot of work put into planning for the bond. We had a citizens committee called the Facility Improvement Team, and they spent about 18 months planning for the bond, looking at what are the needs of the district. We did a survey of all the buildings and all the conditions of the buildings, and this FIT team, this Facility Improvement Team, really decided what were the needs of the district and how can we make sure that we best utilize the the funds that we have to get the most out of it.
And what are some of the main reasons that sparked the creation of the bond?
Well, in Battleground we have some very old buildings, and we have some of the very old buildings are also our most crowded buildings. So there was really a need. We saw a need to rebuild some of the older buildings that we have and kind of modernize some of the other facilities. So there'll be at least 6 new buildings built, replacement of the Glenwood Lauren campus, the Pleasant Valley campus, building a new K-8 campus, building a new area for an alternative school. And then there'll be a lot of technology upgrades. There'll be a lot of improvements to existing schools. There'll be some improvement to some of the facilities, covered play areas. So we're getting a lot out of the bond. And again, it was really kind of based on what this Citizens Committee saw as the highest needs of the district.
Thank you for coming today. And now Zoe will take Mr. Ross out around campus to show you what would change at Prairie High School if the bond passes.
Thanks, Savannah and DaVanna. We're here with Mark Ross, Superintendent. So, Mr. Ross, what are some changes and or additions that will be happening here at Prairie High School if the bond passes?
Well, when the bond passes, February 13th, we'll actually be replacing about 40% of Prairie High School. So really all of the buildings that you see all the way down from the 500 to the 900 buildings will be replaced, remodeled, expanded. You'll probably see, looking this way, a 2-story building down there. And then there'll be some other additions. There'll be some security upgrades to entrances. There'll be carpet. Some of that old orange carpet's going to go away. Yeah. And then some technology upgrades, some wiring, things like that. So quite a lot. We're going to do quite a lot of things to Prairie High School.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're now in the 900 building. So, Mr. Ross, what are some specific projects that will be undergoing?
So this building, as we're standing in, will actually be torn down, and we'll build a 2-story building in it that'll house all of the vocational programs from the 500, 600, 700, 800 buildings, and then the programs in here will be moved to another area of campus. So you'll have brand new shop areas, you'll have brand new vocational programs.
Nice.
Yeah, and it'll all be kind of done in phases. So we'll have to bring in some portable buildings so we can put students there while we're tearing down some of the buildings and rebuilding. Yeah, so we don't want to have students around areas that we're doing construction on. So it'll be kind of done in different phases.
All right, sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Here we are in the security office. Mr. Ross, what are some upgrades to security and precautions that will be?
Well, obviously this is not an adequate space for the forced security that you have here on campus. So hopefully we'll expand this space because this is part of that 800 building that will be kind of reconfigured when we do the 2-story over there. And then in addition to extra space for the office, there'll be new technology upgrades, there'll be some wiring. We also hope to do some upgrades to some of the door locks and securities. We know with all the outside doors and access, that's not very secure. So we want to make some more secure access to that, and hopefully just have a better space and a more updated technology for security.
Cool, looking forward to it.
Yeah, great.
So, Mr. Ross, what are the steps required in order to get out and take action and vote?
Well, you have to be 18.
Yeah.
If you're not already registered to vote, you can do that online by January 15th with the elections office, or you can go into the elections office. You can walk in February 5th. So it's January 15th, online registration, February 5th, walk-in registration.
Cool. Well, thank you for being here and informing us all about the bond.
My pleasure.
Get out and vote, Falcons.
Now let's see how students are casting their vote for the bond.
I'm voting yes for the bond.
I'm voting yes for the bond.
Yes for the bond.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I'm voting yes for the bond.
And if we could, we'd vote yes for the bond.